Hello, Scorpio. Here is your reading for February 26th through about March 4th. These are general. Take what works, and what doesn't work just doesn't work. But if you stumble upon this reading at a later date, there may be something in it for you. But let's see what the cards have to say. In your recent past position, you have the Four of Pentacles. In your current energy, you have the Empress. In your near future position, you have the Seven of Swords. Your challenge for the week is the High Priestess in reverse. And what is recommended for you is the King of Wands. In the past, you were holding on to something. This could have been like fear-based. You could have been afraid of losing something. So you were just like really holding on tightly to what you had. This could be financially. This could be anything in your life that you just felt like you wouldn't have enough of in the future. And sometimes I see this as kind of a fear of change as well, because you don't know exactly when something changes. You don't know how it's going to work out. You don't know what's going to happen. So you're just kind of holding on, afraid to kind of have things change, afraid that you won't have enough going forward, and you just need to you're in this stuck state a little bit. But this could also represent that you were really getting your finances under control, maybe paying off some bills, or you were just really in a state of like, okay, I'm not sure how things are going to go. I got to just keep what I have right now, and we're going to see how things transpire. But currently, your current energy is the Empress, and this is all about kind of feeling abundant. She's growing something. It's about kind of nurturing something into being. It's about feeling like you have enough, you have everything you want. It's about creating something almost out of nothing. So this is fantastic energy. So this is something that you love, that you just want it to blossom in a sense. But what's coming in for you is the Seven of Swords. And this is about needing to be a little bit strategic. It's about kind of having to be, I don't want to say sneaky. This could represent deceit, but I like to think positively. And I think that with this, I feel like whatever you were doing, you were kind of really being aware about what you were spending, about your usage of stuff. You were really super aware and diligent and involved in the situation, and I think that maybe allowed you now to be in this abundant situation, because maybe you had to have certain things to now push forward with this. Like this could be finances, this could be something that you had to save money to do something else or get something else growing or going. And now with this Empress, you're kind of like in this process of creating something. But I think going forward, you need to come a little bit strategic with something. There might be a shortcut somehow that is going to be valuable to you. You might not. I sometimes get this when I need to take a second look at something, or I need to see if there's like a shortcut or a different way to go about something that's going to cut some time down, or an easier way to go about something. But sometimes I would get this even when I would send out like an email regarding whatever situations, and it represented, because I was experiencing a delay on my end, but it represented that their end, they had to go through all the process of, figuring out what was going on. Because if I had to email, it was about some problems or something. So then I was like, why is nobody responding? But then later on, I realized that the situation turned out to be like a glitch in their system, and it turned out to be much larger than what I had originally realized. So this could also represent some type of strategy or strategic process, because in a sense, computers and everything, it's all strategically done in theory, but sometimes glitches happen. So there might be something where you're being affected by some strategic process or some process that's been set up, and there's either delay or it just needs to take a minute. It's moving along, but you might not see it's moving along on your end so efficiently. So anyway, but what's coming in for you as your challenge for the week is the High Priestess in reverse. And this is about not really trusting your intuition. You might just be second guessing yourself. Like your gut is probably telling you something, but you're not really listening to it. You're not really intuitively like tapping into kind of what you feel or what deep down. So there's something here that I wonder if, I don't want to say you're blocking yourself, but there might be something that you're kind of second guessing or doubting yourself. Like with the Empress, I just feel like she feels, she kind of goes with feelings a lot. And I think you just might feel a certain kind of way with whatever this represents, but you might be kind of almost like not listening or blocking certain things, or just, I don't want to say even going on autopilot, but it might be getting to a point where you're trying to push something forward quicker than it can go. And part of you deep down somewhere knows that it probably shouldn't go that quickly, and you're just blocking yourself. So I think you just need to really trust yourself and trust what your intuition is saying. This also could represent other people getting in your head and telling you things, and now you're not listening to yourself. So you need to watch that. You'll know for yourself. But what's recommended for you is the King of Wands. Now, this guy is very confident. He's very charismatic, and he's very passionate, and he's able to actually get other people to help him achieve his dreams. So you might have somebody that is willing to kind of help you grow or move whatever this Empress situation is for you. There may be somebody that's willing to kind of help you on this situation. But also, I see him as somebody that is willing to talk about his plans. Like, I see him as an active planner, and I feel he's very strategic. To me, he kind of comes outside the box a little bit. I feel like out of all kings, this guy's going to kind of try things because he's willing to try stuff, you know? So I think this guy would be willing to try some crazy stuff if need be. If he got pushed in a corner, he'd be willing to be like, okay, we got a 50-50 shot here. We're going to give it a go. So you might have to just be a little bit active in trying different things. If you're hitting some blocks or something's not kind of going quite right, you might just have to be actively just like, okay, we're going to try this, see if it works. And if not, like, because I feel like he would switch gears real quick too. So, and especially because you got the strategy card coming forward for you, and he's very passionate. So I think this is saying that you need to just continue on passionately with this, but be willing to try things in different ways, be willing to kind of be a little strategic, but definitely move forward, but don't lose sight of what you want, and don't lose that like feeling of passion for this situation. Okay, let's see what other cards we get for you. Okay, Scarab, Beetle, Spirit. Magic works through you. And I feel like magic works only if you're really putting that energy in. So I think this is saying with the Empress, like, she is creating magic in a way. She's growing something because she's actively putting that energy into it. So I think you just need to actively be putting the energy into something, and then it will magically kind of develop because you're putting that energy into it. So that's wonderful. Blue Lace Agate, find your calm. And I think for some of you with this blockage of the intuition, you might just be feeling a little bit mentally, I don't want to say blocked, but kind of, if you're having a little bit of this mental turmoil, you just need to find your calm and listen to your intuition. Because anytime we're trying something or we're trying to develop something, it's not always easy. It's not always a straight line. Like, there's things that we learn along the way. And I think you just, through this, you need to like enjoy the process a little bit and just take time to just find peace. Because to me, this is very active energy here. Like you have with the Seven of Swords, this kind of strategy, and then the King of Wands, and he represents to me kind of strategy and action. And the Empress is growing something. She's involved and she's taking action. So within that, it's a lot of figuring things out. It's a lot of figuring out the finer details. So I think you just need to find peace within that. So it's going to be easier for you to stick with this through the long haul because you're not feeling so stressed out. The Sword and the Rose. Clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, power. And I wonder if for some of you with this Empress in reverse, I wonder if some of you might be blocking almost like intuitively some truth that you just feel in your gut. Sometimes, we feel something. So it could be about a person or situation, and there's something in your gut that's saying something's weird here. Something's not right. But then your mind is like, oh no, well, everything seems fine. This person seems okay. Everything's okay. Why do you feel like this? But something in your gut is like, you know what? No, there's something going on here. Something doesn't make sense. And sometimes you can't just put your finger on it. So I wonder if because the High Priestess is here in reverse, I wonder if some of you are ignoring that little voice. And I wonder if either some truth or clarity will come out, a revelation. And I feel like even the King of Wands, he's going to go forward with honor. Like, I don't think he's going to put himself in a situation where he's not going to be proud of the work he's doing or the activities he's getting involved in, especially with this Seven of Swords, because the Seven of Swords can be sneaky. So there's a fine line of being strategic and sneaky. So it's always walking that line. So if you're going to have to move in a little bit of a strategic direction with the honor here, I think this is saying that make sure you're doing it honorably, in a sense. Like, make sure you're not walking the line of now you're just being sneaky and deceitful, but you're actually being strategic in a beneficial kind of way. So heart-to-heart conversations, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. And there might be somebody you have to really talk to. And I wonder if with this High Priestess in reverse, maybe somebody's being a little bit funny with you, or kind of being a little bit, I don't want to say shady, but they might have, I don't want to say an agenda, but they might have certain kind of feelings about whatever you're doing. And they're kind of giving you a little bit of a side talk type of thing. So you just might have to have really a conversation with somebody, or this might be you having to have a conversation with yourself if you really want to move forward with this and it's something you really want to commit to. You might just have to be like, listen, I know I'm going to hit up against all these obstacles, but I still want to do this. And let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. And the King of Wands is all about this energy. He's going to have other people really back him up and want to help him achieve his goals. So there might be a part of this, could be some kind of situation where somebody can help you and is willing to help you, but you just need to ask. So you'll know for yourself. And let's see what quote we get. Chop your own wood and it'll warm you twice. And this is just saying sometimes you got to get knee deep in it. You have to take action with something. Sometimes you can't wait for somebody else to chop the wood. You got to get out there and chop it yourself. I think this is saying don't wait for other people. Like, if there's certain things that you think somebody else is going to do and they're not doing, you need to do it yourself. Sometimes people can help you with certain things, but sometimes they don't do it on the time you want it or you need it. So this is just reminding you, you have to be an active participant in your own life. Like, don't sit out on the sidelines. Like, if you want something, you need to get it done yourself. But I do think you have people willing to help you, but don't let them just do everything, especially if it's not the way you want it done. And if you are not the hero of your own story, then you're missing the whole point. And I think this is saying that you're going to hit up against obstacles, but you need to push through that. You need to just stick with it, and you need to push through it, and you need to push back past your boundaries and be your own hero sometimes. And for your affirmation, you have, today I'm focused. Today I will be productive and feel good about doing the hard work that I need to do. And I think that's great. I think this is saying you're going to have to chop your own wood sometimes, and you're going to have to, even with the Scarab Spirit, magic works through you. This is all about actions, like taking action on something. But you can ask for help, but sometimes you need to figure out certain things. Certain friends can help you with certain things, but sometimes you have to figure out the rest of it. And let's see what Bob Ross has to say for you. That's a crooked tree. We'll send him to Washington. And I think this is saying that maybe if there's somebody in your life that's being a little shady to you, being a little bit with this High Priestess in reverse, kind of getting in your head or talking negatively about whatever you're trying to do, or being a little, sometimes, people be a little funny. They're a little certain type of way. Just either try to ignore their comments, mentally send them to Washington with all the other, and just try not to take or internalize their criticisms, because if you really are trying to grow something and make something really, create something really great, sometimes people almost like want to derail you, or they always have something to say, and don't listen to that. They're just cranky pants, and you don't need some cranky pants pushing you a certain kind of way where you're not now striving to achieve your dream or your goals. So that's that. Okay, and let's see what spirit of the dish we get for you. You have the spirit of the duo, which is the spirit of the peanut butter and jelly. Now, for your dinner and a movie, you have thriller movies and seafood. For the energies that you either need to tap into or be aware of, you have Capricorn. And Capricorn is about kind of work, and they could represent like restrictions, responsibilities, and life lessons. And you have Pisces, and these guys are dreamers. It's all about kind of vision, creativity, and illusions as well. So, and you also have the Moon, which represents emotions and habits. And you have Jupiter here, which is about expansion and good fortune. You have the first house, which is about appearance, egos, interests, and the self. And you have the fourth house, which represents the home, intuition, parenting, and children. And you also have number 2, which is an even number. So that means your special guest that will be answering your questions today will be Mr. Predicto. He shall be out shortly. You have W, I, P, L, J, F, and 1. And you have peace. And this could be like you have to bring peace to your mind as well. Because sometimes when you feel peace, you can kind of start listening to your intuition. And let's see what Charmy we get for you. And you have the seahorse. So, the seesaw, I call this seahorse. It's a seesaw horse. It's not a seahorse. It's a seesaw horse toy or whatever you would call this thing. So basically this thing kind of is always going back and forth. But if you put too much weight or pressure in one direction or the other direction, you're going to tip it. So I feel like whatever you're doing is a little bit of a balancing act. And if you are dealing with somebody kind of being a little bit negative to you, don't let them tip you over. Don't let them tip you to a point where now you're not really striving to achieve your dreams or anything. So you need to just kind of balance aspects of your life where you're finding peace and you're kind of managing to do all of this effectively and efficiently without trying to wear yourself out. So that's what I get with that. Okay, now it is time, Scorpios. Let's bring them out. Okay, Scorpios, think of your question and let us ask. Oh, Mr. Predicto, the most accurate fortune teller that's ever run off the batteries, what is the answer to Scorpio's question?
It is a certainty.
He said it is a certainty, so it is certain. There you go. Mr. Predicto is a man of many words, and those were the words he chose to speak here today. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.